Hello everyone, I am going to explain the working of Boston housing price prediction using linear regression. First of all, we have to import different libraries, that is NumPy, which is used to handle multidimensional array, pandas, which provide easy to use data structure, matplotlib, which help us to draw graph, matplot.pyplot, which is used in generating the plot, matplot.animation. We are importing Func animation, which is useful in generating animations. And the next libraries we are going to import from skit matrix-learn, which provide different machine learning algorithm. And at last, from ipython.display we are importing HTML. After importing the libraries, we are going to learn each thing step by step. That is data preprocessing. In data preprocessing, we will load the data set and return the Boston house price data set, and later print DESCR for description, and from the output we can observe that we have 506 number of instances and 13 attributes and a median value, which is target attribute. After that, we will store the feature from the feature data set into pandas data frame called feature and display it. And in the output we can observe that we have 506 rows and 13 columns. Now we will select a particular column, that is age from feature, and we can observe in the output that a particular column is displayed. After that we are storing the target column into another data frame called target and displaying it, and we can see in the output that the column target is displayed. Column target is displayed, and on the target column we are performing simple tasks such as finding the maximum value of target column and minimum value of target column, and we found the output that maximum value is 50 and minimum value is 5. After that, we will concatenate features and target data frame into single data frame, and we are making axis equal to 1 because we want to add an extra column in our data set. And as we can see in the output that now the number of rows is equal to 506 and column is 14, so extra column is added, that is target, on the data set, and the column become 14. Now we are using describe function, which provide statistical description of data set, and also using round function, which is used to round up the data of the data set up to 2 decimal, as we have used 2 as a decimals. And output can be observed that we have got the different statistical parameters, that is count, mean, standard mean, 25%, 70%, 75% max. After that, we are finding the correlation between the target and different attributes. Basically, correlation describes how closely the values in one column is dependent on another column. Next, we are using Pearson method as a correlation and taking the absolute value of correlation, and after that we are making a list of pairs. Next, we are sorting the list of pair in descending order with correlation as a key for sorting. After that, we are plotting the figure in a form of bar graph, which is reflected in the output, and from the output we can observe that L stat is highly correlated with target value, as we have plotted the graph between the correlation with target value and attribute, and from the graph it is observed that L stat is highly correlated. After finding the correlation, we are coming into normalization of data. For normalization of data, we are storing X as a L stat and Y as target. Before normalizing, we are printing the data of Y up to 5, that is first 5 number, and we are getting the value as 24 point something, 21.6, 34.7, etc. And for normalizing, we are using mean max scalar and fit transform. We are using mean max scalar as max scalar also consists of inverse transform, from which we can get the original value back after the scaling value. So after normalization, we are printing the values of y up to first 5 number, and we can observe in the output that the value is normalized. And the next step is splitting the data into testing and training. 20% of data is split into testing, and we have stored that value in x test, y train, y test. The next step is building the model. The three functions that constitute the model are error, update, and gradient descent. Error. Error is used to calculate cost function or error at current position. Update. Update is used to calculate gradient and update the value of m and c. The next is gradient descent function, which is used to apply gradient descent on cost function and obtain best fit value for m and c. In this we are using iteration for checking the error every time, and if the error value is less than error threshold, we will break the loop and return the value of MC error values and MC values. After that, we will update the gradient with using gradient descent function with some values. And after that, we plot the regression curve, and we observe that the curve obtained is having a negative slope. And after observing the regression curve, we will plot the curve between the error and iteration, and we found the output that by increasing the number of iteration, error decreases gradually. The next step is model training visualization. In this we will generate animation. As the number of iteration increases, change in the line are less noticeable. In order to reduce the processing time for animation, it is advised to choose smaller values. So we are taking MC values from 0 to 250 and an interval of 5. Now we are training the model for generating the animation. We are defining different function, that is init, update function, and we are printing the anim using HTML. In the output we can observe that we have plotted an animation. After this step, we are going to predict the price. For this, we are calculating the prediction on testing data, and after that we are calculating the mean square error in testing data. We found that mean square error is 0.0250, which is very less. After finding mean square error, we are putting the test data, that is x test, y test, and predicted value in a single data frame, so that we can predict value along the testing data set. And in the output we can observe that we are getting 3 columns, that is x, target y, and predicted y. After that we are plotting the predicted value against the target value, and in the output we can see that we have got a negative slope. And after predicting, we are now going to revert normalization. Actually we have predicted the data and we have the normalized value. Now we are going to convert our normalized value into original value. So we will reshape the data or revert normalization so that we can get the original value. Now we are removing the extra dimension and we are predicting the data by using inverse transform. As we have done scaling through min max scalar, now we are using inverse transform for getting the previous value back. So after prediction, we are getting the output as x, target y, and predicted y. So finally we get the prediction of our project. Thank you.